one of the things that was missing from this framework, and this is the light bulb moment I had this weekend while I was listening to the How to Survive the End of the World podcast, where Adrienne Marie Brown was talking about her book, Pleasure Activism, which I have to get. But I was listening to it and I don't know why it suddenly hit me, but I was like, oh my God, it's such an important, like, vital and powerful part of my journey was reclaiming my pleasure and claiming my pleasure in my sexual pleasure, claiming my sexual energy, and sexual energy is creative energy. Like, the energy that you use, like your sexual energy, your sexual center. Yes, we can feel pleasure and sexual pleasure all over our bodies, but your sexual center is literally where we create life. Okay, it's like where things are birthed into the world. So it is actual, like, sexual energy is creative energy. And it was such a massively important part of my journey that I was almost like, how did I not have this in my framework, you know? Hey, Tanisha. So I was like, how did I not have this in my framework? Like, this is obviously such a huge part of my journey. It was obviously such a vital part of me, like really claiming my power. And some of the things that I've been able to do in having a voice in leaving an abusive relationship, in just taking a stand, even doing what I'm doing now for Black folks, to be able to take this stand and say, hey, I am here for Black people. This is a Black centered space. The work that I do is for Black people. This is how I can help you. For me to be able to do that, part of that journey was learning to really access my own pleasure and to do it in a way that was guilt-free and shame-free. And that was also in healing some of the traumas and pains that I had experienced. So yes, we're not leaving that abusive relationship. Yeah, fuck that guy. So I realized this, and I was like, as soon as I realized it, I don't know, I had that light bulb moment listening to the podcast. As soon as I realized it, I was like, so I'm going to need to put this in my program. I'm going to need to incorporate pleasure, and I'm going to have to make the program now from a 7-week program to an 8-week program. My framework was a 7-step framework, and now it is an 8-step framework. And this is an example of how quickly sometimes you have to change as you realize something. Like, I realized immediately, this is something that my clients need. This is something that has to be in the program. The program is about dismantling the Oreo Complex. And you might think, like, what the hell does that have to do with pleasure and sexuality? It's got a lot. Like, pleasure and sexuality absolutely play into that because of the ways that it allows us to access our power and our power to be wholly who we are. And so that's how quick it was. I was like, I know I need to put this in. I had already announced the program. I'd already announced it as 7-week. Already had people, like, already had sign-ups, okay? And was like, it's now an 8-week program. So let me tell you a little bit about why this is actually so important.